now that you understand how big tech compensation works, let's talk about how to actually negotiate it. The biggest mistake I see, people go in unprepared, hoping the company will just do right by them. That's not how this works. Today, let's talk about the Anchor framework. 6 strategic steps that will help you negotiate with confidence and get results. This isn't about being aggressive. It's about being prepared and positioning yourself as the valuable professional you are. The framework is designed to help you anchor your negotiation in a way that not only sets you up for success, but ensures you don't sell yourself short. So let's go. The first step is A, which means anchoring. This helps you start strong. Your anchor is your first number, the first number you put on the table, and it shapes the entire negotiation. Here's what anchoring means in practice. Instead of saying, I'm open for something competitive, you should say with confidence, based on my research and experience, I'm looking for a total compensation package in the range 280,000 to 320,000 range. Here is how to set your anchor. Number 1, research market rates using platforms like Levels FYI, Glassdoor, and your network. Then add 10 to 20% to the top of your research range. This gives you negotiating room while staying defensible with data. Always anchor on total compensation, not just the base salary. And when you do that, make sure your anchor is defensible with data, not just wishful thinking. If you don't anchor early, they will, and the anchor would likely be much lower than what you deserve. All right, the next one is N for narrative. Tell your value story. Numbers without context are just numbers. Your narrative transforms your ask from a demand into an investment case. Your narrative should include 3 key elements. Number 1, your unique qualifications. What makes you different from other candidates? Then, quantifiable achievements. What are some specific results you've delivered? And then, future value. What will you contribute to their team and company? For example, in my current role, I led the migration that reduced API response time by 40%, directly impacting user experience for 2 million daily active users. I'm excited to bring the same systems thinking and execution to help your company scale their infrastructure challenges. That's well-structured narrative. So here's what you can do to craft your narrative. Prepare 3 to 5 concrete examples with metrics and connect these past achievements to their specific challenges. Practice telling these stories concisely in 30 to 60 seconds each, and focus on business impact, not just technical complexity. Now let's move on to C, context, which helps you show that you've done your homework. Context gives your anchor credibility. This is where you show you've done your homework and aren't just picking numbers randomly. Here are some types of context to reference. First one, market benchmarks. For example, you could say, according to Levels FYI, L5 engineers at similar companies are earning 300 to 350,000 total compensation. Now, internal equity. You could say, I understand that people in similar roles here are compensated in this range. For competing offers, you could say, I have another offer at 310,000. But I'd prefer to work here if you can find an alignment. And then there's the cost of living play. You could say, moving from Austin to San Francisco represents a significant cost increase. And then you could play the expanded scope idea. This role includes team leadership responsibilities that weren't in the original job description. See, the key is to provide context that's relevant and verifiable. Don't just make up competing offers or cite data that you can back up. Let's move on to H, which is hedge. Not everything is negotiable everywhere, so you need options. Hedging means having multiple ways to reach your compensation goals. If base salary is capped, explore additional equity or signing bonuses. If stock grants are fixed, discuss acceleration clauses or cash components. Common hedge areas include signing bonuses, stock refresh grants, additional PTOs, or sabbatical options. Even remote work arrangements, professional development budgets, or start date flexibilities are all edges. The goal is to give both sides room to maneuver while still reaching your targets. So let me share with you some common hedging strategies. Number one, you could say, if base salary is capped at 200,000, could we explore additional equity or a larger signing bonus? Or, I understand the stock grants might be fixed, but could we discuss acceleration clauses or cash components? Or you could say, if the total compensation number works, I'm flexible on how it's structured between base and stock and bonuses. Next is O, opportunity. This is where you shift from me versus them to us. You want to position your compensation as an investment in shared success. Say things like, I'm excited about the long-term growth opportunities here. I'd love the compensation to reflect the mutual investment. Or something like, the problems you're solving with recommendations are exactly what I want to spend the next few years tackling. You can reference specific projects that you're excited about and discuss how you contribute to team goals, not just individual works. When you frame it around opportunity and mutual benefit, it feels collaborative, not just transactional. And the last one is R, rapport. People say yes to people they like. Here's the truth. People say yes to the people they like and trust. Your negotiation should strengthen relationships, not damage them. Be genuinely enthusiastic about the role, show appreciation for their time, and acknowledge the constraints. For example, I understand budget approvals can be complex. And then ask for advice. You could say, what would you recommend as the best path forward? While doing this, stay positive and collaborative, even when discussing difficult topics. Use collaborative languages like, help me understand the constraints so we can work together within them. Instead of, that's not acceptable, or my minimum is, or something similar. Now, remember, recruiters and hiring managers are often your internal advocates. So make it easy for them to actually champion your case. Now, let's put it all together. Here's how it sounds in practice. This is an example. You could say something like, thanks for the initial offer. I'm really excited about the opportunity to work on feed ranking. It's exactly the kind of large-scale problem I want to tackle. That's anchoring. Based on my research and scope of this role, I was expecting total compensation in the range 320 to 350 range. Narrative. In my current role, I've led recommendation system redesign and increased user engagement by 25% and reduced compute cost by $2 million annually. I'm excited to bring the same impact to meter feed challenges. Now, context. Looking at level FYI and comparing with my level 6 offer at Google, this range aligns with market rates for senior engineers with machine learning system experiences. Now, Hedge. I understand there might be constraints on different components, so I'm flexible on structure, whether that's more equity or larger sign-in bonus or adjusted base salary. And now opportunity. I see this as a long-term opportunity where we can build something significant together. And I'd love the compensation to reflect that mutual investment. Now, Rapport. What are your thoughts on this? And what flexibility do you have to explore options that work for everyone? That's anchoring with a strong number, narrative that shows your value, context from market research, edging on structure, opportunity framing, and rapport building, all in one response. Now, in closing, the anchor framework gives you a systematic approach that feels natural and professional. You're not being pushy, you're being prepared. Companies expect negotiation and budget for it. The worst thing you can do is to leave money on the table because you were afraid to ask. So in the next lesson, I want to tell you my personal story on how I negotiated over $150,000 in additional to the compensation and value using the anchor framework.